different day, same dress. You have to decide if I washed it. You may be thinking, Emma, it looks like there's just a sheet on your bed. And I'm going to say, yes, that's because there's just a sheet on my bed. And you may say, Emma, why is that the case? And I will tell you, it's because a heat wave hit Eastern Canada in the middle of May, which, I mean, isn't unheard of, but this, it was 30 degrees 2 days in a row, and now it's 16 degrees, which is still way too hot for this time of year, but now it's supposed to rain for the next 3 weeks. Climate change is great. We are here today to discuss my spending habits. And this discussion is triggered by me feeling guilty after buying 5 books at Value Village today because I needed to get out of the house. I also got Starbucks. I tried something new, hazelnut latte. It's not good. But, so first I'll show you these books, but we're working on a broader project today. So, what did I buy? The Edible Woman by Margaret Atwood in the same copy editions that I'm collecting. Why am I collecting Margaret Atwood books? I've only ever read 2. We'll get there. And then, not 1, not 2, but 3 poetry collections. Terminal Moraine. It's Canadian. It's poetry. Okay, now these next 2, I don't have other things like it. This is Break Your Glass Slippers, and it's like Cinderella retelling-ish stuff through poetry, and but it's, it's so cool. I haven't seen anything like this before. I've never read anything like this before. I'm interested. Then we have Love and Other Anxieties, which is a poetry collection about love. So, I've done this before, but it's fine. And then Animal Farm, a classic. Now you may be saying, Emma, are you just buying Margaret Atwood books because you say you're going to read them and you need to get more into literature, and then classics, which you actually are reading slowly but surely because you need to get into classics, and poetry collections because you feel inauthentic because you write poetry but you don't read a ton of poetry? Yes. Yes to all of it. Emma, do you have the money for this? No. However, we are coming up with a solution. I'm going on a book buying ban, which I was supposed to be on this entire year. How many books have I bought this year? Definitely more than 15. It's May. So this is what we're gonna do, okay? I'm going to make a master list of every book I own that's unread. And I'm gonna sort them into different categories, and we're gonna go from there. And then once I figure out how big each category is, I'm going to set a number that is like, hey, you cannot buy more books until you read X amount or X percentage of each category. And then I'm going to text it to my friend and my partner and my other friend. And they're all going to hold me accountable until they encourage me to go buy more books because it brings me joy and I'm an author, so I should read diversely. I need to stop buying books. So, I'm going to start this list. I might do a time lapse. I might not. I might just put a podcast in the background, do a time lapse on my phone. We'll see how she goes. And we're gonna frickin' do it. So after about a half hour, as you will probably be able to tell by that crazy long time lapse, I have categorized all of my unread books. So here's the list. Here's how I did her. So I have poetry, which has anthologies, collections, and like poetry, like bookish type stuff. like anthologies and then like collections. Well, obviously an anthology is multiple authors, and then a collection is like I have poetry of Emily Dickinson, and then I have like more new stuff. I have 7 of those. Then I did classics, which is just what is typically referred to as a classic, and I have 6 of those. Then I have short story collections, and I have 3 of those. And then I have what I put literature. There's only 2 authors on this list, and there's 4 books, both Canadian. Basically, it's adult fiction, but I have some other adult fiction, but like this is more like they're older books and they're like well recognized, and I would consider them literature and stuff like that. Anyway, so basically it's all my Margaret Atwoods and then David Adam Richards. Then I put something called study, which I originally had put as political philosophy, but then I realized I had like other political books. And then I realized I also had history books. But these are all technically non-textbooks. I understand it. And there's 6 of those. And then I have general fiction, and there's 14 of those. And I have nonfiction, and there's 7 of those. And that brings the total to a whopping 47 books. To put this in perspective, I have more books at my mother's house. I lost some of them in a flood, which I mentioned in the video I posted today. Anyway, I have a lot of books. So, I think reasonably getting through 50% of every section, instead of just saying, well, 50% of my books, like getting through 24 of my books, I'm going to say getting through half of each section. So, and I'm going to do a lot of these aren't even numbers, so I'll do there's 7 poetry books, I'll do 4 and consider that half. Be on the larger side here. So I'm going to say 50% of each sections before I'm allowed to buy any more books. And then I'm going to put a spending cap on whenever I'm allowed to buy books again. That's going to be like $20 per time. And you may be like, hey Emma, that's not enough to go out and buy new books, because we're trying not to buy new books. And that was one of my main goals this year. And not so much new releases, but new copies. I think I've only bought 2 new books. One of which was a new release, and I really wanted to read it. And I had gotten it from the library, and then I had to return it. I'm bad for that. So, we're going to see if I stick to that. And yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this random shorter video, maybe. And yeah, I'm going to try to get my bookish habits under control. Bye.